the time, he was a very close friend, a tremendous athlete, good-looking guy. His name was Joe Gallagher, and Joe was a very close friend. He was a boarder, and tremendous athlete.
I mean, I got stung in the eyelid by a wasp once, so... I mean, it wasn't cool, but it's a cool story.
You don't need to go, and then the left needs to stop being victims, and the right just stops needing to be blaming illegal immigrants and Islamophobia and everything on the side. This is why I'm an independent.
Believe in live and let live. In other words, I try not to have prejudices against, anybody.
I mean, it could end at any moment, but like...
Like right now? What is your life philosophy?
Well, I like to plant flowers on the weekends. So I think my life philosophy is to prosper and live well.
Trying to
from British Guiana to Trinidad, and then in Trinidad we picked up the airline, British West Indies Airlines, and they get on this DC-3, small plane, which it was like a slanted, and there was just one aisle and, seats on both sides.
What is the tragedy of comedy?
If I just hijacked a plane, took it up, and jumped as the world was ending, that'd be pretty cool.
It kind of makes me feel insecure sometimes because I feel like I'm turning into
Oh
that.
wait, let's see what this
But then I realize I'm not because I have self-respect.
That's one of my close friends that I had, I just went out of my life.
What are your thoughts on life?
It can be boring. It's kind of pointless, though.
I think we should live for a minimum of like 30 years. 30 years old.
Do you mean minimum or maximum?
Wait. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Whoa!
there's a train that leaves Providence on Amtrak, and it takes you all the way to LA. It's a 3-day train ride. It stops in Chicago. It takes you through Nevada, all the mountains. You get to see a lot of things that you don't see if you're driving.
I was standing in a yard when all of a sudden some weird mutant and driving a limousine drove up onto my yard and started chasing me at like -1 miles an hour.
79, baby.
I don't know.
Death is like, that's not funny. I'm not gonna laugh.
Yeah, and they would like, I'd have dreams. No, I wouldn't have dreams. I've had dreams. No, I have had dreams about them. I've had dreams about them, like, guiding me through life. And it's very odd.
I have to give you like 7 napkins.
I have a terrible paralyzing fear that after I die, when I die young, in like 10 years from now, everyone who I've ever like known or interacted with is gonna meet up, like in a big Facebook group or something like that, and then they're all gonna get together and swap stories about dumb shit I've done.
I didn't understand how much you hated marshmallows. Okay, would you like a piece of gum?
Today's going pretty bad.
And I spent 3 days on a train.
I had a dream that they tried to assassinate me.
We're talking about not that I know of, because
How we grew up in suburbs and didn't get to talk to.
And being 80 years old, I've had a lot of good things happen to me over there.
Hood rats. And how now that we can talk to hood rats because they're not intimidating anymore.
I just really appreciate all the hood rats in my life.
I guess my life philosophy is live, laugh, love.
My thoughts on love, well, let me tell you something about love. It's a crazy little thing and you shouldn't enjoy it.
This girl I went to preschool with, and she and who I think were her cousins
basically assaulted my brother and I.
Do you need like a drink?
Yeah, once we got there, we drove back.
What's your food?
I had a homeless man tell me that I needed more Jennifer Lopez.
There's no funny story.
So I went to grab so he grabbed the ruler. I held on to the ruler, and then he pulled the ruler out of my hand, and the ruler went.
I don't know if I can have sex in only a few seconds, because that's the only real thing I've really never done before.
It's one of those weird things you just sort of do it, but you don't really know why.
No, I do. But I used to not.
I think love is whatever the heck works for you.
I don't know. I
Saw some pretty amazing things.
Someone's talking over it. I don't want that.
And this is funny because I remember vaguely, and I might have been 1 year old, going to my grandmother's, funeral.
That's their culture, man.
I think if you're not directly offending anyone, like if anyone that sees you or hears you appropriate. At least the pineapple is black. I don't think if they're actually offended by it, that's a problem. Also,
My mom died and I didn't laugh.
Did your mom actually die, Noah?
No.
So it was a lot of kids, a lot of cousins.
Am I immune to what you put in those marshmallows?
Am
I supposed to be doing this?
These are like 5 years old, so.
I went off to boarding school in 1947.
I'll make it big. My first track, I got myself on it.
But my mother was so pro-American that she insisted that we go to America.
Well, I think it depends on the drug.
One of my classmates, who was close to Joe Gallagher, told me that Joe actually was an orphan. He came from an orphanage in New York, and they sent him up to, when he was a high school age, sent him up to Mount St. Charles, and I never knew that.
Trucker, are you doing an accent?
he does that a lot.
British, Scottish, American, occasionally Southern or Irish. Irish a lot of the time.
But
I don't even know the right.
Staying in New York anymore in Manhattan. We were staying in Long Beach, Long Island, which is in the south shore of Long Island. And my brother Alex was about a year younger, so he would have been 7. And my other brother was probably 6 or 5. Anyway, we were close together. We would go to church, sit in it was in a cathedral in Georgetown, in the same pew every Sunday. And after church, he'd pack us into the car. It was this was just after World War II. In those days, the British country, Britain was, devastated during the war. So, and British Guiana was a British colony. So we had a car that was, pre-war. It was an old car. And I remember that. And the tires were bald because rubber was almost impossible to get during World War II. The military, whether it's the British military.
I think life's trauma, but we all need to get past that and just do the best we can.
I can remember lots of friends.
Life?
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful and it's like, no, I'm kidding. I think,
I don't really have good dreams.
It was probably off by like a second. I always think about that. What could have happened?
Life is gonna suck and life is gonna be dramatic, and the more that you just soldier through it and just do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do is something that you need to focus on rather than just
I actually do believe that life is a precious thing, and I believe it's something to be cherished and to live to the fullest. That sounds really stupid.
So I like said, hey, we were friends in preschool, and to that she just yelled, you don't know me, I'm bad, so-and-so. So
My life philosophy is probably just to be selfish. I just like to be happy.
I love it though. It's like, why?
Sadness, you see, I feel like everyone has some sadness because things are happening in people's everyday lives that cause them to be sad. Because you see, I've been through a history of mental and physical abuse caused by other kids of my age. Well, you see, there's this one time in like 7th grade where this kid tried to steal my money, so he got me in a chokehold, and this teacher was just staring at me, and he was like, minding her own business, don't care that I'm in a chokehold. Then me knowing martial arts shit, I step on his foot, and then I elbow him in the stomach, and backhand him in the face, and then got my lunch money back. But then my teacher suspended me. I was brought to the principal's office and therefore suspended for offending.
To the common tongue, I'm an apple, but in my native language, I am known as a Gardoshuer. And I come from the apple planet. I'm called an apple because I technically evolved from the same cell that apples evolved from. And we introduced the apple fruit to Earth.
It's a big old circle, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I can live on it, so.
Shut up! What did you say?
What?
No, you said something after I threw the snowball.
I said, that's right, bitch.
What's that supposed to mean?
You didn't throw it at me.
Yeah, because I had to answer the question. What was the question?
Eat it.
Imagine. What are you doing?
I don't know. It's just dumb, you know?
I don't know.
And Ralph and I were very good friends, and we had a lot of intramural sports. We had a lot of sports, and Ralph and I were always on the same team. We had a football team, Ralph was with us. We had a baseball team, Ralph was with us. We had a hockey team, Ralph was with us. So, you know.
There was once a boy, period. He met a girl, period. He married the girl, period. He was unhappy with the marriage, so was she, period. They got divorced, period. He later met another girl that he did like, period. They got married, period. They lived happily ever after.
comedy, I'd say dying.
Here, let me put one in your mouth.
Yes.
And if that's what you're into, go for it. I don't
Yeah,
give a
you
shit.
watched your wife have sex with another man.
I don't have a wife.
Yes, you do.
And if it's consensual, it doesn't matter. Who's my wife then?
I don't know. Only you know. You're a
Why
cuck.
would I only know?
Because you're a cuck.
Guys, if I had not been for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you two by now.
Everyone calls me a cuck even though I'm not a cuck. Cucks aren't like bad people. So just because someone
Yes, they are. You are what someone is. They are bad people.
So now you're just saying
You're just the general cuck.
Now you're just saying I'm a bad person, but I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not. Prove it.
Die.
Oh wow.
And it was just really weird because he was like, "Why is everyone freaking out so much?" It's because you just burned yourself, and he's like, "Okay, and then he went to the bathroom and came back, and he's like, "It's kind of starting to hurt now," and yeah, then we just took care of it. But
At first, he was a tremendous musician, Tom. He was a tremendous piano player. At 9, he gave a big concert at 9 years old, which I didn't attend, of course, I didn't know him then. But he was a tremendous piano player, and he started off, when he graduated from high school, he went off to Boston University School of Music, and he played the organ tremendously. And his piano professor, they were fighting over, they were trying to convince him to become, the piano professor wanted him to become a piano major, and the organ professor wanted him to become an organ major. And this was at Boston University School of Music. And Tom didn't know, what to do. But he really, in the back of his mind, wanted to become a priest.
Not that he committed suicide, but that I'd already known that, but that my brother had passed.
I'm really into harmony korine these days.
If karma doesn't hit you, I gladly will.
Why are you asking me this? Yeah, but he's interviewing us about stupid shit.
It's like, why do I have to pay you $10 an hour? You're my fucking shrink now. No, what? Give me something else.
Or if like I smoke a cigarette
If you
butt
think
off.
that's as bad as it gets a lot worse, Francis.
No, that's not as bad as it
Okay,
gets.
stop being my friend.
I'm sorry.
That's disrespectful. If I wanted to get girls, I could totally get girls. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that's saying like.
I had ghost outfits that looked, like the typical Halloween, two eye holes in the sheet. Yeah. Poor moose. Oh, I'll just leave that.